Hello everyone. Good evening. So I hope you're in good health together with your family. I apologize for the delay of our lesson for week 1. So it's medyo lawig ng delay. But anyway, we will try to catch up with regards to the lesson. So I hope we can catch up with week 1 and week 2. So, diyan lang tayo ma-stop probably so that we can have our 2 weeks assessment and the incoming exam. No? So, and I hope all of you enlisted on the Schoology, no, app that I mentioned to you on our group chat. So for those who did not yet enlisted, so kindly please download the app, the Schoology app, and then enlist your account on the subject code that I sent to you on our group chat. Okay, so let's proceed to our lesson. So for the week 1 lesson, so we will discuss here, I mean before anything else, before we proceed. So your subject to me is the system analysis and design. So to give you a glimpse on what the subject is, so system analysis and design will give you a grasp and concept and understand the importance of the system on a certain organization or institution or business or company. System analysis and design included on your curriculum to help you. Now later on, before you graduate, you will be creating your thesis to help you analyze data, gather data, and decide what would be the system that you are going to develop with. It will help you also to maximize the component principles and concept of the system that you're going to choose later on. Okay, so that is the system analysis and design. So, muna siyang gin-include sa inyo nga curriculum. Okay, so without further ado, we will proceed. So the objective of this, the objectives of this week 1 is to define what is a system and identify its components and element. Also, we will define what business systems and information system, identify the components and information system, list the reasons for the need of an information system. Also, we will try to enumerate and describe each system, each type of information systems. We will also discuss the general system principles. Ayan na. So, masulod na siya. What is the principles behind the system? Also, identify the players in a system. And also here, it's mentioned, we will identify the role of a system analyst. Okay? So, system analyst right now on the market, one of the highest paid job in an IT industry or IT field is the systems analyst, no? Because he's the one who manage and organize the whole system of a certain development, no, of a team. So that means there is a team. So if you are a system analyst, so all of the knowledge that you have should be what you call this one, high, no? So that means ano siya, dapat medyo expert ka na when it comes to the information system and the whole process of the manipulating and creating, developing a system. So kinala medyo developer ka man, or shall we say programmer, so that you will experience also what is a system analyst. Also, describe the knowledge and skills required of a systems analyst. And so, what are the skills that the systems analyst should acquire to be considered as systems analyst? Although there are lots of, and probably depending on the perspective of the systems analyst, but at least we have here the basic skills of a systems analyst. Okay, so first, what is a system? So a system is an interrelated set of components that functions together to achieve an outcome. Take note, that functions together to achieve outcome. So that means the system composed of different functions. If you remember the when you are on C++, no, especially for those students that are under with me, okay, so when we say function is made up of different module or smaller program. So each of the function connects to the main program. Okay, so it's just like the same on our body. So your body is the main program. Then after that, each of the parts of your body is the functions. So you can touch by using your hand, you can see using your eye, you can smell using your nose. So it's just like the same. So the system is okay. So basically, there are three major components in every system, no? Namely, no, very basic na siya because you get this also. You study this also on Comp 112. So the input, process, and output, which is the very essence of a system, or even a computer. This is the very essence because you need raw data in order for you to process, no? Raw data anay before process. Then after the process, then there's no other flow or sequence, which is the end, no? Which is the output. Ma-output gina siya. So kung may gin-input ka, i-process siya, then ma-output siya. So which is a very basic, no? To continue, a system is theoretical approach to the system have introduced many general principles. Goal setting is one of the principles. So when you are creating a system, so dapat you have a goal. And syempre, if you have a goal, you have principles behind that system. So that means before you create a system, dapat tukibon mo anay, or you need to seek for the goal first of the team so that you have a clear output later on. So, amo na siyang standard dapat. Okay? It defines exactly what the system is supposed to do. Okay? Then, there are principles concerned with the system structure and behavior. One such principle is system boundary. When you say system boundary, it is the component that makes up the system. Anything outside the system boundary is known as system environment. So as I mentioned to you a while ago, the functions, right? So every functions, linain man na siya nga particulars, no? So that means ang function, for example, sang calculation is different from data entry. Okay? So kada isa may mga functions sila. For example, sa enrollment system, yun na lang na magpa-enroll ka mo sa TOP. So, there is a function to cater student to enroll, to enlist the name of a certain student on a certain course and on a certain subjects. So, lain man na siya. And then, after that, lain man ang process ang inyo nga kung may mga payments, okay, kung may computations, that is another story. No, another naman na siya. So, may mga boundaries sila, system boundary. But, in a totality, enrollment system is what you call system environment. Okay, so that means kung tingbon sila from data entry to computation, grades, registrar, and so on and so forth, So, kung i-combine sila into one, so they are called system environment. No? Isa na sila ka-environment. Okay? A system can be made up of number of subsystems. Each subsystems carries out part of the system function. So, amo itong i-mention ko a while ago. Okay? The data entry, lain man siya. Computations, lain man. Registrar record for the grades, lain man. So, kung if we try to break it, so they have different functions. So that is system boundary. To continue, subsystems are important because they can help handle system complexity, which is true. No, just imagine if you will be creating a system, tapos tingob mo tanan yung obra ginsamo mo. Just imagine that. Okay. So, for example, the function of entry, isa lang sila ka what you call this one? Isa sila ka placements ng computation. Then after that, the registrar is another one is the registrar. You also include it in one particular column for the functions of each one. That means one function may tatlo kada kabilog. So although you can manage it, but later on you will encounter the so-called complexity, no? Because all of the functions are gathered in one particular environment lang, no? Wala ka nag-bound, no? Wala ka nag-boundary. Na supposed to be when there is an error on data entry, dapat ito ka lang ma-focus sa data entry. Pero kung may problema sa computation, so dito ka lang yung ma-process or ma-troubleshoot sa computation. So that's the importance of the subsystem. So dapat hatok-hatok siya or gina-separate or ginabutang ang system boundary so that if there is a certain problem with regards to the subsystem, okay, so you can address directly because you have already separated all of the boundary. Okay, so that is the subsystem. So each subsystem carries out some parts of the system goal. Okay, the subsystems communicate by passing messages between the subs. Although they are separate from each other using the subsystem, but they are communicating because they have only one system environment. So that is the essence of the subsystem. Okay? Now, what is a feedback? So, feedback is the idea of monitoring the current system. Ang ginagamit na, magsabi current, ginagamit na siya. System output and comparing it to the system goal. Okay. So, mostly, feedback is one of those reason that the system is improving or ga-evolve. Because of the feedback, for example, ako nagamit ko isa ka sa Word na lang o watanabe o pinaka-basic is the Word. So, if I found something not included, no, or gusto ko siya i-improve, so, mahatag ko feedback sa isa ka current na system na ginagamit. No? For example, na lang sa Facebook, o basta may makita kada nga features na if you think nga wala siya or probably feedback nga nanamian ka. Okay, so depending on the feedback on the current system. Okay, so feedback is one of the reason that the system is improving. Okay, so any variations from the goal are then feedback into the system and used to adjust to ensure that it meets its goal. Yeah. So one of the advantage siya ng feedback. To do this, it is necessary to monitor the system to see if it is meeting its goal. So mostly the feedback is the instance after the system is implemented. So for example, if the for example in TUP, after the um, system in enrollment is implemented, supposed to be it will be monitored, and then the user that what do you call this one, that using the system, okay, si registrar abi, si accounting, no? So once they use the system that is that is implemented already, so they need to monitor if all of the requirements of the school is met, no? If it doesn't met the goal, so that means they need to feedback so that the system will maintained and improve. So that's the use of the feedback. Kung if we put it on your side, for example, ang teacher's evaluation. So your teacher's evaluation is one of the feedback, okay, from you in order for us teachers to improve, okay, or the school to improve. Okay, so that is feedback. And I think you know that. So these are the elements of the system. So the purpose. What are the purpose of your system? Okay. The subsystem, the environment, boundary, connections, and control mechanism. Ayan. So that is the elements of the system. So first we have purpose. So the purpose is the reason it exists or the reference point of measuring its success. So ano ba ang purpose nga nag-create a system? What is your objective to create a system? Why you create or develop such system? Okay? So that is the purpose. Subsystem naman, it is a part or elements which performs specified tasks that are compatible with the goal of the larger system of which these are parts. So subsystem naman is regarding it's regarding to the members of the team. Now, for example, there is a you call this one the UI team or the user interface team. So they need to brainstorm regarding the interface of the system, and there is a programmer so that the programmer will collaborate with the UI, the database designer, so that they collaborate also with the programmer. What would be the queries that you are going to create? Okay, so the subsystem will give you a boundary on such task that you are going to assign with the team. Okay. So the environment naman is all about people, facilities, rules, policies, and regulation that surrounds the system. So syempre, when you are creating a system, you need to have people. Okay. The second one is the facility, no, the environment, the rules, no? So hindi ka lang mag-create ng system kay tungod nag-create ka lang. So you need to follow to ask permission base may na ano ka na, base may na labag ka na nga rules sa isa ka kumpanya. So hindi gali pag ilabtan nga data, so ginilabtan mo. So you need to have that permission. The policies of the company is also very important so that hindi ka mapriso, no? So base may hilabtan ka Data Privacy Act, and then the policy is this, and then you breach that, especially on the contract. So be careful on that. Okay, so that is the environment. Next, boundary. So the perimeter or line or demarcation between the system and the environment. Okay, so anong ilang boundary? Okay. Connections transmit the flow of material and information that coordinates the system's component. Okay, sila yung transmit the flow of material kung paano sila mag-proseso sang isa ka sistema. Example, mag-encode, paano siya, tapos din makagto ang data after this. After ma-encode mo, pag sa data, anong matabo. So You need to have a connection between that. May middleman dapat. Okay? So, isa ka pag-create sang system. So, there is someone who will manage to ask questions, no, regarding the flow of the system that you are going to create. Then we have control mechanism, rules and logic that governs the individual systems, subsystems, and the interaction among them. Kung sila control mechanism ang the functionality that governs all the subsystem. Okay, so may mga programming approach na nandali. Okay, so mostly sa mga programmers nisa, kag sa mga UI developer. Okay, so that means system analyst sa team. So system analyst sa team leader. Oh, by the way, may project manager pa. After the project manager, then the system analyst. Okay? Then we have system concepts. So the system concept is a mode of description, okay, which explains an aspect of an object in terms of set of interacting elements. Okay? The object can, in principles, be anything. Physical object man siya, a body of work, an idea, or an enterprise. Okay. So, muna siya ang system concept. Pwede siya by principles. Baga na medyo overview lang anay, concept, conceptualize ka da, framework. Okay. It can be anything, no? Under the sun. Nga makakreate ka sa isa ka sistema, okay, makreate bi isabi ka interface bisang isabi ka AI nga robot, no? So, that is system concept. Okay. So now we will proceed on the what kind of system that we are going to develop. So there is a the very common one, ang mga sang grabe ng mga kwartahan na sa market when it comes to the system is the business system. So business system is a collection of policies, procedures, methods, people, machines, and other elements that interact and enable the organization to achieve its goal. So that means may mga people na di ang ga-involve. So that means si project manager na di ang ma-perform together with the system analyst on what would be the goal setting of the organization so that maka-create some credible, reliable, and accurate system. Okay? And after that, we have another one, the information system. So information system is a collection of interrelated components that collect, process, store, and provide as output the information needed to complete a business task. Ayan. So ano naman na saya? Di naman saya sa software nga side. If business is all about the policies of the company, procedures, methods, and people. Okay, regarding the system, dili naman niya is all about the data or the information that you're going to process, okay, regarding the system. Okay, so hindi pwede makakita lang system. Dapat you need to coordinate with the company or a institution or business so that you can come up with a good information system. So, hindi lang pwede nga mag-bypass ka ng rekta without any giving permission to implement or to create or develop a system without their knowledge. So, dapat may harigin sila because they're the one who will going to use the system later on. Okay, so, that's why you need to have these people. Now, so components of an information system. So, first is the work practice. So, what is this? Work practice is a methods and procedures used by people and technology to perform work. So, very straightforward anyway. Okay. Next is information. So, information can include formatted data, text, images, and sound. Okay, kaya mo na yung mga information ta. It can either be a data, or it can either be a text, an image, pwede gan i-video, pwede pa, kaya na-include sounds. All those information that can be transmitted or processed or formatted in a form of information, it is called information. No? Kung sa ano gani, kung sa mga ano gid, sa mga chismosa, information man nagyapon. So but anyway, it's information anyway. It can either be a fake information, or it can either be a true information. It's still information, no? So be careful with the information anyway. But we will not tolerate fake no information. Okay. Then we have people. So people is syempre by the word person who enter, process, and use data. So that means people here is the people where that are using the system that the system analyst will be implemented later on. Okay. Then we have information technology. So this is the combination of the hardware and software na. Okay, that performs one or more data processing tasks. So including the ang networking, the servers, the applications, and so on. So information technology na siya. Okay, so that is the components of an information system. Okay, so what is the reason why we need information system? No, especially nowadays, the information is very important. So that's why, although information is not given in to anyone else, no, because of the Data Privacy Act, but we need a very large of information, especially right now on the pandemic, in the field of the contact tracing, especially for those positive people and for those who are infected. No? So naga-contact tracing na yun. So we need information system. So that's why the DOH are hiring people on the contact tracing field. No? So that's is very important. Okay. So the reason is growing size of the organization and the number of competitors. No? So because of the vast and frequently updating technology, so the organization should also be aware of the competition. No? Example, the Microsoft and the Android. No? So si Android sikat sa mobile phone, and the iOS also sikat sa mobile phone. But Microsoft is popular naman in the field of this one. So may mga competitors man sila like Apple. No? There is a Chrome, no? May Chrome man nga OS. So they need to be one step ahead on their competitor because they are growing, and the technology is in the fast-pacing development. So that is one of the reason. Second reason is the growing ability of computers to process large amount of data with great speed. No? Especially right now, we have gina-introduce na sa market si AI or artificial intelligence na siya. No? We have already now the machine learning capability of the computer. So that is the reason why we need information system. So sa una, medyo hinay pa ang pag-process ng data to produce information, accurate information. But right now, we have a computer that can cater great speed with regards to processing a data that can produce information. Then dramatic increase in volume of data generated. No? So because right now we have data analytics that can produce, that can forecast, no? That can forecast a great and accurate solution. So for example, so when this area, no, so mga pandemic, example na sa contact tracing, when this area reach 200 positive in COVID, automatically those area should be considered high risk. No? So that's the generation of the data that can increase, that can be used in information system. No? Also, advances in communication technologies to permit faster data and transmission. No? Especially right now, we are using internet. No? So, unang internet medyo hinay, but nowadays, ang internet natin, probably, may mga hinay din man. pero hindi siya hinay just like before, no? When I was in so San Andres Acon, so I already told them that way back I think 1990 no mga 1999, 2000, 2001, so we are using the kbps pa, no? Kilobyte kilobyte per seconds pa, no? Right now mbps na, no? Megabyte per second, but other countries use gigabyte na sila. So that is the advancement of the technologies. Then increase in phase of business transactions, no? More a faster business transaction, much better, no? Mas double ang efficacy sing isa ka user kung ang iya system kagang isa ka sa isa ka system na gid, no, is also in a great speed, no? So mas ano siya what you call this one, ang iyang effectivity or ang iyang ang efficiency sa isa ka person, ang efficacy niya, mutong na-mention ko na, ang efficacy niya towards the system is gasabay sa speed sang transaction, no? So una ang ma-process lang so una mga 10 lang ka transaction per hour. Right now galambot na sa 100 transaction per hour. So it's very convenient anyway when it comes to the information system. Then more sophisticated technology today. When I say sophisticated, medyo mga mahal naman gid, but it can produce accurate, reliable information with regards to the information system. Okay, so that is the reason why we are in need of information system. Okay, next. So types of information system. So these are the different types of information system right now on the market. Excuse me. So first we have transaction processing system, the TPS. Then we have management information system, the MIS, decision support systems, office automation system, expert systems, executive information system. So those are the types of information system. So first we have the TPS. So TPS process large amount of data for routine business activities and transactions. So mostly sa mga bangko ni siya, no? Kag mga dlagko ng mga kumpanya. A transaction is an event that generates or modifies data that is eventually stored in an information system. For example niya, ang sales order from the customer, bank deposits, withdraw. So just imagine na lang how many withdrawals of the cash from the ATM every minute. Just imagine that. Every hour, every day, after 3 days. So just imagine. Okay, way back before, transaction is very slow, but right now you can transact in just a minute, or probably ang gapalawig man lang sa transaction kaysa ang linya, no? The falling line, because hindi man lang ikaw ang ga-process. But when your data is processed, it's very fast, no? When it comes to processing your data, no? So in reality ang gapalawig man lang ang linyahanay, no? Especially right now nga may social distancing, so we need to be patient for that. So TPS are very important for the organization since they gather all the inputs necessary for other types of information system. So TPS is one of the system that caters large amount of data, which is very essential also for the information system. Okay, so that is TPS. Next, we have the Management Information System. So, the MIS provides standard reports for managers about transaction data. So, muna sa mga generation reports. How many sales do we have? How many transactions do you have right now? How many cash flows, statement of accounts, etc. and so on and so forth. So, that is the MIS. MIS work on purposeful interaction between people and computers. So, because, syempre, they're using the database management system. So, interaction between the computers and the people is essential. It supports a broader range of organizational tasks to include not only TPS but also decision analysis and decision making. Okay? MIS are designed to take the relatively raw data available through a TPS and convert them into summarized and aggregate form for managers, usually in report format. So, the MIS is essential once every data is being processed, no, using the TPS, no. Kay parts ang underneath TPS si MIS, no, wherein every data nga nagasulod si TPS na sang ga-process, si MIS naman yung ga-generate sang report, especially for the those manager that are in need of the reports every day, every hour, every minute, or every week, or annual report. Excuse me. So the different types of report can be produced include summary report, exception report, on-demand report, and ad hoc report. May say ad hoc ba lang ano yan? Ang interbranch. No? For example, may sa piyak nga branch B, nag-withdraw to si Amoni, tapos nag-transact sa, tapos paglabot sa inyo da, may harap sa transact. So, interbranch, no? Ad hoc report. So, kaya hindi ka man lang excuse me, nag-transact, no? Sang inyo nga kung ano mo da mga transaction mo da, either kung sa bangko man siya, or sa hindi ka man lang transact once, that you transact in any of the entity with regards to the information system. Okay? Next, we have Decision Support System, or DSS. So, DSS are designed to help organization decision makers. So, sa mga managers, o sa mga top-level management, identify and choose between option or decision. Instead of providing summaries of data in MIS, DSS provide an interactive environment in which decision makers can quickly manipulate data and models of business operation. DSS depend on databases as source of data. So, when we say data decision support system, i-explain ko na lang siya sa in easiest way. Decision support system is all about creating, ma-create sa sang isa ka report kag maka-decide ang mga mga top level management on what they're gonna do on the data that they are collected. For example, on the sales, ang demand subong is face shield kag face mask. Okay. So, for example, in the whole Philippines, no, maka-produce, ang bilong ng Pilipinas na may more than 18 million, for example lang, 18 million, way ko pag ina-check kung pilagit ka population sa Philippines, 18 million of the population of the Philippines, 90% of it is using face mask, 80% using face shield. So what the Philippines gonna do? So that means the demand for the face shield and face mask is already high. No? Ang demand niya tama ka high. The question is, how about the supply? Does the Philippines has the supply of the face shield and face mask? The next one is the vitamins. Oh, right now, Berocca is out of the market, but automatically, after a few hours, probably, or a few days or 3 days, the Berocca vitamins is sold out. So that means the demand for that vitamins is too high. But the question is the supply, and that can cater the more than 18 million people here in the Philippines alone. So that is decision making or decision support system. The system should support the credible and accurate data to address the problem. Okay, so that is in layman's term, it is called this. Right now, it is called in data science. It is called analytics or data analytics. So may statistic na siyang dala. Okay. Next is office automation system. The OAS support general office work for handling and managing documents and facilitating communication. So which is very familiar with you. Using the spreadsheets, desktop publishing, desktop publishing, may mga Photoshop, Illustrator, and so on. Electronic scheduling, communication through voicemail, email, and video conferencing. So, na siya ang office automation system, which is we are using right now, like Zoom, Gmail, Yahoo Mail, and so on. Next, we have the expert system. So, expert system, also called as knowledge-based system, perform a task that would otherwise be performed by human expert. Namin tawag sa expert system, no? For example, there are expert system that can diagnose human illness, no? Right now, may subong. Make a financial forecast, no? And schedule routes for delivery vehicle. Okay? Also, some expert system are designed to take the place of human. Umano sa mga subong, it is called artificial intelligence. So, one of the example of the expert system is an AI or a machine learning type of computer or system. So, umano subong gina-develop subong sa aton nga mga scientists, no? For us, our life will be easy, no, when it comes to gathering information. So, ang muna na subong advance ang technology naton. Okay? Now, so what are the characteristics of the expert system? So, the first thing is the highest level of expertise. The expert system offers the highest level of expertise. It provides efficiency, accuracy, and imaginative problem solving. So, damo ding algorithm yung ginahamper diri. Because dapat ang expert system makasolve sa problem sa data nga input nimo. Siya mismo ma-suggest, ma-forecast what would be the output or what would be the demand or what you're going to do after the data is being processed. So, that is expert system. So, right on time reaction, magsiling right on time, real time siya. Pag input mo, you can generate, the system can generate real time solution. Good reliability, the expert system needs to be reliable. It must be not make any mistake. Although, kita ganing a person, we are not perfect, but as much as possible, the expert system should produce, a quality and at the same time reliable output. Flexible, it is a vital that is remain flexible as it possessed by an expert system. Kaya magsabi nga flexible, hindi lang siya pang isahay, but it can perform multiple or multitasking type of solution to the problem using the expert system. Effective mechanism, expert system must have an efficient mechanism to administer the compilation of existing knowledge in it. Okay? So, AI gyapon. Capable of handling challenging decision and problem. So, mas ang pinaka-main sa dalo, an expert system is capable of handling challenging decision problems and delivering solutions. So, ang maginiya dapat ang iya nga pinaka-focus sang isa ka expert system. delivering solution from the problem that you have input on such expert system. So, may mga characteristics ng expert system. So, imagine mo lang kung ikaw abi ang na-assign ng system analyst and you will be creating an expert system type of programs or application or software. So, imagine mo na lang. Oh, for example, sa ano na lang, anong galing mga apps subong sa smartphones nga nagaan sang mga root. Oh, di ba? So, may sa subong app dira. I don't know what's the name of the app. May sa subong yung apps wherein makahatag sa imo, no? It will give you an information on what particular route, no, will you go if this route is traffic or flooded or a certain heavy bulk of mga baha, no? So the expert system will give you such information. Okay, next, executive information system. So the EIS provides generalized computing and communication environment to senior managers to support strategic decision. O sila nga senior manager, mga taas na. If you have managers to decide, may harap pagidya mga taas pagid. This rely on information generated by MIS and allow communication with external sources of information. EIS are designed to facilitate senior managers access to information quickly and effectively. So that means the EIS is composed of the highest level of the accessing the information with regards to the system. So if we have level 1, level 2, level 3 type of account, no? So manawing admin, tapos guest number 1, guest number 2. So the admin level is the executive information system wherein this system can grant na privilege to access a certain information na hindi pwede ma-access sa ibang nga users. So that is the executive information system, because once they have these privileges, means that data is very essential on the strategy when it comes to decision making. Okay, so that is executive information system. Okay, so let's proceed to the principles of a system. So the more specialized system is, the less able to adapt the different circumstances. So muna yung principle. So more specialized system, so dapat medyo specialized siya, kung ERP siya, kung TPS, so dapat kabalo ka kung ano ang principles sang system ngayon mo. Okay, the more general purpose system, the less optimized it is for any particular situation. When I say optimize, ang mapadasig, no, ang proseso. But the more the system is optimized for a particular situation, the less adaptable it will be new. It will be new to circumstances. So once nga less optimization, so medyo ang particular niya medyo mild. Pero kung optimize mo siya, mas ang ang iyang circumstances nga pwede pagin ma-improve, ma-enhance. Okay? So the larger the system is, the more of its resources that must be devoted to its everyday maintenance. So kung dako siya, syempre dako ang maintenance. Systems are always part of larger system. They can always be partitioned into smaller system. Amo tong na-mention concept system. Kung dako gid ang system, make a boundary so that it will be designated to different subsystems. Systems grow. This principle could not be true for all systems, but many of the systems with which we are familiar to grow, I mean familiar to do grow, I think it's to grow, sorry, because we often fail to take it into account when we begin developing the system. So, syempre, the system is keep on evolving, no? So, kung ga-evolve ang isa ka system, so dapat you need also the people should also grow, no? Hindi lang tayo magpabilin sa mga old system that wherein we already used to it. So, we need to also to embrace the new system. Okay. If before you are using a system that can only have a DOS-based programs, no, wherein you can only saw black and white, and then right now we have the GUI or graphical user interface type of system, wherein there is a great, no, impact to your efficiency as a user. So that means the old process should not be applicable from the newest one. So you need to adapt those changes, no? Especially to those people who are growing in a certain company that is already old. uh, Unlike the newest one that can adapt the new wave or new challenges when it comes to the fast-growing technology right now. So, mostly mga senior citizens natin, they can I think they have no time for exploring that. But some, no, that's why it is said here. This principle could not be true for all systems. So, amo man sa user, this principle is not also true for all the user on the system, because some are not ready yet for embracing the new technology that are coming right now in our to our what you call this one, country, or to our institution or company, no? So hindi pa sila ready, so wala pa yung na-embrace kid. So that's why this principle probably can be applicable by some numbers of user, no, but not all. Okay, so I think it's all about open-minded, open-minding your just open your horizon for the great opportunity. Okay, next, stakeholders of information system. So first we have the system sponsor owner. Okay, pay for the system to be built and operated and set a vision and priorities for the system. Thus, they view information in terms of cost and benefits to solve problems and exploit opportunities. So, magsiling ang system sponsor owner, so sila niyang mga stakeholder na nagabayad sa system. Okay? Kapahimo, kagapabayad. Okay? Next, system user are the people who actually use the system. Kagamo ni silang per kay magreklamo. So, they are the one who using the system. Once they don't know and they not feel the system, they are the one also who first to complain in such organization or company. Okay. But anyway, it's normal to complain, but somehow they need to embrace the new changes. But anyway, ang change man lang kuno ang constant sa kalibutan. So once there is a change, there is a transition. Okay, when there is a transition, you need also to either improve or either not to improve. So it's your choice anyway. So as a user, so if we are going to embrace the new challenges and the horizon of opportunity, then you need also to expand your horizon when it comes to embracing the new technology, especially on the system. Then we have system designers. Ayan, so muna isang nag-develop. So are technical specialists that translate the business requirements into feasible technical solution. And so they give solution because they are the designer. Thus, they view an information system in terms of design blueprint to guide the construction of the final system. So sila na yung nag-design sang UI. To interface on the programmer. Si designer and programmer should go hand in hand so that they can interface the program on their system. I mean, to create a system. UI, itong mga may okay, text box, combo box, ang mga UI na to, mga designers, ang program naman niya, mga skilled people, expert people, to inculcate what are the components that they're using on the designer side. So sila ang naga-perform ang designer. So important si system designer si isa ka team. Then we have system builders, are technical specialists who build, test, and deliver the information system. Thus, they view an information system in terms of actual working na. Okay, hardware and software to implement the system. So implement, turn na sila. No? Because they're the one who will interface now the system, hardware, machine, software to the people or to the user. So system analysts are people who determine the requirements that must be met by the information system. So siya niyang naga-cater. All of those requirements regarding the business solutions or information solution or system solution on a certain company, so siya yung nag-handle. Nadako na siya ngobra because if the data that the system analyst gathers wrong, so that means all of the project will become useless. No? So because may sala lang siya ng isa, dalahig ang tanan. Okay? So the system analyst should have the expertise with regards to gathering the requirements of or I mean determining the requirements of the information system. So what is the rule or what are the rules of a system analyst? So system analyst as a consultant. So dapat kabalo siya mag-consult. Hindi lang siya mag-consult lang sa business, sa kumpanya or sa owner. He or she needs also to consult the team. To give the morale. Okay, once nga the system analyst has this kind of attitude with regards to the team, so they will have a harmonious relationship with on creating or developing the information system. Okay, system analyst as support expert. In this role, the system analyst draws on professional expertise concerning computer hardware, software, and their use of uses in the business. So, syempre, as a system analyst should have also a support expert, hindi lang siya kay expert sa pag-determine ng requirements, but also he or she has also the expertise in supporting other component, like the hardware and software. So dapat kabalo man siya determine what would be the software needed or hardware needed on the development on a certain team. Okay, so that is the rule of the system analyst. Now, so required skill of a system analyst. System analyst should have a variety of special skills. So special one of the special skills of the system analyst, so kailangan nakagi man siya mag-program, kagi man siya designer, kagi man siya database, no? or probably may familiar lang siya, no? Because not all the time may balaan sang bilo sang system analyst ang tanan, no? Probably system analyst has a forte with regards to a certain portion of the information system, but as much as possible, the system analyst should have a variety of special skills. Okay? So, excluded ang kanta, ha? So, basta may mga kanta, dancing, pakamuda, walang balong bakaon. So, it's different. Okay? So, they need to have an understanding on how to build an information system that requires a technical knowledge. Also, they have to understand the business that they are working for and how the business use each of the types of system. So one of the skills also of the system analyst is to understand also the business. Okay, it's not only that he or she knows how to develop a system, but also he or she must understand what is the business or the system is all about on a certain business. Okay. Moreover, the system analysts need to understand about the people. No, very important, no, because you are dealing with people. And the way they work because they will use the information system. Okay, especially sa user. If the system is implemented already, so you need to deal with these people, no, to work with them. If there is a problem on a system implemented, the system analyst will cater those. So he or she need to have a good personal relationship or PR. Just like they say, oh, mayo mo kuya PR. So if you have good personal relationship, then you have the skill of a system analyst. Because you're talking about people here. You're not talking about animals or a bug. No? So you're talking about people. Now, so as per illustration, so you have the technical knowledge. So you have technical skills, business knowledge, business skills, people knowledge, people skills. So amo na siyang mga required skills of the systems analyst. Ayan. So they ka dire. Okay, choose. But if you have all of them, then probably you can become someday a good systems analyst. So if you have planned to be a system analyst, so think about all these three, okay, required skills of a systems analyst. Okay, especially this one, because you're dealing with people. You're not dealing with a machine, you're dealing with people. Okay, so technical knowledge and skills. So it is a requirement for system analysts to have the technical knowledge and skills. Even if they are not involved in programming duties, no, because some of the system analysts is not on the programming yet, no, hindi nila forte in programming, it is still crucial to have an understanding of different types of technology. Although you are not familiar with the programming yet, or you are not good in programming, but you have a understanding of what is a program is. So that is already one of the technical knowledge and skills of a systems analyst. So to continue, computers and how they work. Yan. Device that interacts with computers, including input devices, storage devices, output kung di ba na siya po na technical knowledge niya siya. Databases management, programming language, operating system and utilities, software, packages such as Microsoft, the IDE, and so on. If you try to enumerate all of them, they are referring to the technical knowledge and skills. So you have those technical knowledge. Okay. Next, business knowledge and skills. No? So systems analysts should have an understanding of the business organizations in general, since the problem to be solved is business problem. Okay. So since if you are hired in a certain company, you are hired to, and you are hired because you have the skill to understand what is the business problem. Hindi kin-hire ka tapos mamangkuton ka, mambal ka lang, don't know, maybe, probably, so don't mention that, because they hire you because they have problem, so you need to find solution to the problem. So that means just like what my co-instructor told us, uh, rule number one is to obey your boss, follow your boss. Okay. Now there is rule number two. Rule number two: what if the boss is your boss is make a mistake? Now all you need to do is to think, go back to rule number one. Okay, because your boss hire you because you have the skill. Now if there is a mistake about your boss, then you have no choice but to solve the problem created by your boss. So that's the reality on the business on the field of the occupation or finding a job, no, or landing a job. So they hire you because you have the capability to solve the problem for their business, okay, or transaction. So you need to solve it. That's the reality anyway. Okay, next, also system analysts need to understand the type of organization for which they work. Okay, so kinahanglan you need to have also the understanding on what is the organization is all about. Okay, so for example, you will be developing a system with regards to creating a soap. So you need to understand what is the nature and the flow of how the soap will created. So, but sa lingon, ma-research ka man. Okay? Systems analysts with deep understanding on a specific industry can solve complex problem, which is correct. If you have the deep understanding on a specific industry that you are work with, so much easier for you to solve a complex problem. If you have the comprehensive understanding of what is a industry or a company is all about, that you're going to create a system. Okay, it's very essential for a system analyst to understand what is the business is all about. Continue. Here are some specific the analyst need to know about the company. So what is the specific organization does? So ang organization is all about. Now, what's the nature of the business? What are the flow? What are the do's and don'ts and so on? What's the policy, rules, guidelines, and so on. Then what makes it successful? So what will you do if in order for you to achieve the goal? No? So what is strategies and plans? So this time you need to have a plan. Accurate and reliable plan with contingencies na ha. When you say contingencies, dapat kung may fault, dapat may immediate solution. Okay? Because the client or the company will not look for your complaints, no? It will look for solutions, no? They hire you to give them output, not to give them complaints, no? Okay, so that is the specifics that you need. Next, what is traditions and values are? Okay, so you need to have also the knowledge with regards to the culture of a certain company. Okay, just like sa call center, before they go for the taking the call, so they have at least I think mga 2 months, no? The most is 2 months training, not only for the script that you're going to speak to the customer, no, online, but they need also to know the culture, no, with regards to the people that we're handling with, no, especially from the Europe country, from the US and so on. So that is the what you mean the traditions and values are. So they need you need to know the culture or the tradition that they are in with, no, in a certain business or company. So people, knowledge, and skills. So ano siya, no? So systems analysts need to understand a lot about people since they usually work on development teams with other employees, which is true. So you're not only working on your team, but you're also working on other employees of a certain business or company. Thus, they should possess many interpersonal skills. Now, itong PR na namin ko. It is critical that the analysts understand how people think, learn, react to change, no? Itong na-mention ko na, you need to embrace, no? The open, you need, the company should also open for the horizon opportunities, no? Communicate and work in variety of jobs and level because you are dealing with different ranking level of jobs there, no? Hindi lang siya may clerk, there is a manager, there is a supervisor, there is sub-supervisor, and so on. So you will be dealing those people. So you need to have a good interpersonal skill or personal relationship skills. And that's the end of our week 1 lesson. So if you have any questions with regards to our lesson for today, so you can message me on our official group chat, or you can message me, or you can leave your message below this video. Okay, so you may now answer the week 1. If I think you answered it already, probably, or some of you answer the week 1 activity on the essay. So you may now answer it because I will be posting on your Schoology app the submission of the assessment for week 1. Okay, so stay tuned for the next lesson, which is the week number 2, and we will stop probably on the no, not probably, we will stop on week number 2 so that we can have our exam. Anyway, we have lots of discussion now with regards to week 1, so I think it is sufficient for ano pa may pa kamo week number 2. I think this is sufficient for our exam for the prelim. Okay, we will just continue the week 3, week 4, and so on for our next discussion for this subject. Okay, so please stay healthy, stay at home together with your family. Eat healthy foods, take vitamins if necessary, drink lots of foods, and exercise. Okay, so thank you everyone, and God bless.